vikshepaha, chitta prasadana. Obstacles in the path of sadhana. In the various forms of chitta vikshepa. Vikshepa here, vikshepa there. And along with that the sahabhuva that we saw. 9 types of chitta vikshepa, the 4 dimensions of sahabhuva. What is the remedy? Patanjali gives a wonderful basis for this transformational process to remove all the obstacles and go to the highest stage of perfection. So, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya, Vishayanam, Bhavanatas, Chitta Prasadanam. This is the fourfold approach that he gives. So, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. 4 types of emotions. Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya. These are the ones which have to be applied, when you have the different chitta vikshepas, So, what are they? You have Sukha, you must have the Maitri. You have Dukkha, you must have the Karuna. You have the Punya, you have the Mudita. You have the Apunya, you have the Upeksha. These are the opposites that you have to do. When you encounter a lot of good things, Sukha, what is to be done? You must make good friendship with them. People who are always in the phase of smiling and full of joy, blissful awareness, make good friends with them. As a result of that, you also start becoming happier day by day. But a person who is always in dukkha, melancholistic, a depressive mood and a stern pace, what is to be done? Karuna. To show compassion to such people who are in great agony. And therefore, you don't get stuck with them, but you do whatever you can to alleviate their dukkha. Compassion should lead to action. Action called as the service action. So people suffering from tension, stresses and different diseases, they are suffering and you must do the seva, karuna. Karuna should result. When you show compassion run away, no. You should see that you do the service needed for them. That is the second dimension. The third dimension is punya karya is happening. Wonderful works are going on. Great works are being done by different organizations. So what should be done? We should appreciate that. Muditaha. You should enjoy that. You should feel so good about it. But normal, what is the tendency? If somebody else is growing, we become jealous. How to bring it down? Because we have that jealousy that propels up. Jealousy is one of the 6 enemies of man, as you know. Anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation, arrogance, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. 6 enemies of man. And that has to be combated. So, that jealousy should not come up. For that, what is the remedy? You should be enjoying that. Anybody who does good work, any organization that creates wonderful things, appreciate that and show your positivity about it. Mudita, you are happy about it. Really, you should be happy inside and expression the happy outside. And the last thing, what is that? Apunya karya. The wrong things are happening in the society. Lot of big scams and big corruption. And everywhere is dishonesty, everything is gone, and it is the apunya karya happening, adharma is happening, the violence, terrorism are all happening. What is to be done? If you can remedy that, go ahead and do that. But most of the time, you cannot remedy them because they are so big. Therefore, if you can organize such big groups and combat it, certainly go ahead and do that. Otherwise, what is to be done as an individual when you cannot do? He says, what is to be done? Upeksha. That is, be neutral unto it. Do not get stuck with that. Do not go on worrying about it. Oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. No. You just have neutrality. oh, this is happening. We pray to the God, Ishvara, please take care of it, because I am not able to solve this problem. So these are the 4 dimensions. Whenever there is the Sukha, Maitri. Whenever there is the Dukkha, there is the Karuna, and then service attitude. When there are the good actions going on, by individual, by organization, appreciate it and do good things. And the apunya karya, wrong things are happening, be upeksha. These are the 4 things that he gives. These are the behavioral transformational therapy, I call behavioral therapy. So if you can adopt this in life, you have wonderful results. The mind will be full of prasada. That is, the good things, the well-being is going to come up. So these are the 4 different approaches or attitudes towards 4 different types of people or qualities of people that we have seen. So these are the dimensions that Patanjali talks about. And then he goes a little deeper and tells these are the obstacles that come. But what are the basic kleshas which bring about these problems in life? So they are called as kleshas. Kleshas are the basic dimensions which bring us various problems, like we saw, avidya, asmita, raga, the dimensions that we saw earlier, the vikshepas. So what are these 4 dimensions? Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhiniveshaha, kleshaha, panchaklesha, 5 kleshas. So what are they? Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. These are the 5 kleshas which are at the base, which prevents you to go up and up and up. So you have to remedy all these things. So when these 5 dimensions are operative, then you have all these 9 vikshepas and the sahabhuvas that come. So Patanjali says you have to go and deal with these panchakleshas. So he describes what is avidya, wrong notion, like the viparya. It is lack of knowledge or wrong knowledge that is there, that you have. That is avidya. So you think that the beautiful, blissful atmasthiti, shantasthiti, manasna, that calmness of the mind, you think that's a lazy mind, useless mind, and haphazard mind. Let it throw me out and then go and do the work. So this is the avidya that we have. Just like a jaundice eye. So you look at everything in a negative way and think that that's the right thing to happen. Then the second one is asmita. Asmita is the ego. Everywhere I want to show off myself. I want to blabber myself. Various types of asmita come, various types of ahankaras come. So, ahankara, dambha, darpa are the main dimensions of this ego that comes up. What are the egos? A person is very rich and he has a lot of good education also. He is a great person and he gives money for good purposes. He builds a house, he builds an orphanage, he builds a school, he builds some temples, and he offers money for cleaning up the roads, and everything goes on giving and giving and giving, philanthropy. But at the base of that, he always wants his name to be projected. Okay, I am going to take plate of this 100 toilets. In all these toilets, my name should come, my wife's name should come, my parents' name should come. Can you put it? Then I will give you the money for that. I will build a temple for you and it may cost 2 crores and we will also maintain that entire temple. But the temple name should be on the top, Birla Mandir. Inside what God you have, it's different. It could be Lakshmi, Saraswati, anything that you have. Outside, Birla temple. So this is the way by which it comes up. The ego shows up even in the philanthropic great person. The second category of people, they are very powerful. They have a lot of power They have got good education. Then an IAS officer, he has become a joint secretary, a secretary maybe, and he wants to rule everyone, a king, an emperor, a prime minister, everybody they want to do this thing, control everybody. He says, not even a grass should move without my knowledge. Such a person. Arrogance shows up everywhere. Anybody comes, you put them as a muck, as a dirt. You never treats them with any respect. This is the second way by which ego comes up, because he is full of education and money and power, everything is there. And the third category of people, they don't have anything. They neither have money, nor education, nor power. But they want to show mass everywhere. They go on blabbering. Oh, I met this MP, I met this minister, I met this chief minister, I met this officer, and goes on telling. In every word, every sentence, they go on blabbering and blabbering and blabbering. All the dimensions. So these are the ways in which the asmita shows up. The ego shows up in various ways. Then the third of the panchakleshas is the raga. Raga is attraction. Sukhanushayi ragaha. And you want an object of enjoyment. You like it. You go there in it. And you have perception by eating your gulab jamun which you like, you get lot of happiness. Yeah. So that which you like and you get it, there is a raga, then there is the happiness associated with that. Therefore you want to go there. By eating this, you will be happy. Therefore I want to go there and eat that. I want to hear that music because I like it and it brings me happiness. So the attractions bring sukha, and therefore our senses rush towards their objects of enjoyment by attraction. The fourth is the dvesha. That is the hatred, repulsion. I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I don't like the khichdi, I don't like this brinjal, I don't like this karela. And I hate this person, I hate this girl, hate this person. Hate. Dvesha. What is the relation of that? Dukkhanushayi dveshaha. It brings dukkha to you. When you go on looking at negative things and then dukkha everywhere and then criticize, they will be unhappy, you will also be unhappy. They will become dukkha and you will also become dukkhi. And they will start hitting you, you will become unhappy. So this is the dvesha dimension. Attractions and repulsions are the two things which bring the so-called sukha and so-called dukkha. Both of them are really not sukha and dukkha. And the last of that is the abhinivesha. Abhinivesha is totally clinging to your body, clinging to your likes and dislikes, clinging to your ego and clinging to your avidya. So everything gets clogged onto this thing. So you identify yourself with this body, with your mind, with your emotions, and forget that you are all that Purusha, you are that infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom, infinite bliss. I am the Purusha, I forget, and I completely merge and become one with this thing. Abhinivesha has occurred. And these are the dimensions that has been talked about. That is clinging to life or the fear of death. This happens. So these are the 5 kleshas, panchakroshas, which are very, very important, which bring about all the vikshepas and the sahabhuvas. So, tatpadeshidartham ekadatvabhyasaha, various methods have been given to deal with this panchakleshas. And the dimensions that have been talked about to deal with that is called as the second thing. That dimension is the yoga that comes up in the dimension. But Patanjala is telling, for this you have got the Ashtanga yoga, the 8-limbed yoga which you have to take. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So I have got 8-limbed yoga. Sutra number 29 of the second chapter. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhayaha, Ashtavangani, 8-limbed yoga, he says. And then he goes to describe Yama and Niyama are the Vidhi and the Nisheda, do's and the don'ts. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. What are the things you should not do, achieve that mental composure? What are the things you have to do? Shauta, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhanani, Niyamaha. Having given the 10 dimensions, they're like the 10 commandments of Christ, like the 10 dimensions of Manu Dharma Shastra, but the 10 dimensions of do's and don'ts of Patanjali. If you follow them, you start gaining mastery and control over the mind. Chitta Vritti Nirodha can happen. Those are the dimensions that talks about. And the niyamas represent to positive things, what is to be done, what are the observations, what are the restraints that bring about the dimensions of these things. Then comes the asana. Put the body in a particular position, stay there. Allow the situation to stay there longer and longer and longer time. Then get control over the mind. That happens. The 3 phases of asanas are sthira, chira, sukha. Initially, you should become stable. Any position that you are moving like this thing and make it steady. Then you must be able to stay there long. For that, you do prayatna shaithilya, relaxation, the effort. You must relax the whole body when you are sitting. Then you can stay for a long time. How long? If you are staying for a long time, then your mind will start experiencing the blissful awareness. You come to the stage of sukha. Sthira, chira, sukha are the dimensions that have been talked about. Then you come to pranayama. Gaining mastery over prana is pranayama. And how to gain control over prana? By giving control over the breathing. So, you go on breathing slowly and systematically. The number of breaths per minute should reduce. Our normal breathing rate 18 per minute, you should start coming down 16 per minute, 10 per minute, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 breaths per minute, then 1 breath per minute. You are advancing tremendously in pranayama. Then you go to the next 1 breath in 2 minutes, 1 breath in 3 minutes. Then you are in the advanced dimensions of pranayama. So that's the second dimension. The third is the pratyahara. That is to gain mastery over the mind through sense objects. You observe the interaction of the senses with the sense objects and see that it gets isolated. As a result of that, you have a pratyahara, that practice. That helps you to go to the greater. These are the 5 limbs called as the Bahiranga Yoga, in which you try to gather and control the mind indirect way. Then comes the dharana, dhyana, samadhi, direct control of the mind. In dharana, you fix the mind on a single thought, and the mind should not move here and there. Full concentration, full focusing of the mind, completely do that. That's called dharana. Then you make that process slow, calm, steady and expanded. That is called dhyana. What features dhyana? Is a single thought with calmness, slowness. When the mind slows down, you want to sleep. No sleep, sir. You have to keep awake. Then you start expanding your thing. That is the expansion of the mind, tuning to the infinite. So this is how we have been able to put them together in a nice way in the book that we have written. So congratulations to for writing the book on this thing. And dhyana culminates in the samadhi. Samadhi is a merger, and the subject merges with the object of enjoyment. The meditator merges with the meditated. This is a coalition. Tadeva arthamatra nirbhasa swarupa shunyam eva samadhi, as Patanjali says. So you are doing a particular Ishta mantra, let us say that you are doing Om, 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 Om with that vast infinite blue sky as your Ishvara, and suddenly you become one with that silence and you lost yourself. And that is the wonderful state of great bliss. There is an expansion of the awareness, and you become very, very, very happy in the whole dimension. So these are the dimensions that have been talked about in the 8-limbed yoga. Patanjali takes it further to Sanyama, that is the 3 angas, Trayam Etra Samyamaha, like these things he does. So we are going to look at these higher dimensions of yoga in our next session. Thank you very much.